puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live with the Special Stage Pro-2 Truck Series. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday night. Hope you had a fantastic start to your week. If you are not aware, my name is Mac Nelson, representing Racer Nexus Broadcasting. Hope you guys are here. Hopefully we can have some fun here tonight. Speaking of fun, very fun experience here up here in the booth, Mr. Zach Amsbacher will be joining me here today. Zach, how you doing, man?
Hey, Mac, how's it going, man? Happy to be here in the booth and my first time up here, so we're going to see how this goes and get to see the race from a different angle. Appreciate Racer Nexus having me up here, so we're looking forward to having some fun out here tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fun is indeed what we are going to be having, as practice has just now finished up. Ray Baudouin running your fastest lap. And we will see how these trucks can handle the small little track of Lanier National. Zach, you're a jumpy truck expert here. Tell me, how does it feel driving these trucks around an oval?
It actually surprisingly feels pretty natural. I mean, the truck's, born to be raced on dirt. The biggest difference is just, being on an oval track. There's no jumps involved, no short course action. You're just turning left the whole time, but they feel pretty good. It's kind of the same as always. You want to stick it to the bottom. We'll see how the race develops, with track wear, if the top groove kind of comes into play, but you just want to wrap the wall and drive it just like any other dirt oval car and see who can come out on top.
Yeah, and I think, so are these guys, as Adam McAfee, posting a 16.73 there. That is going to be fastest time currently, although I'm sure that's going to change up a little bit. So is it going to be kind of a, is it going to be a slobber knocker here tonight, Zach? Are we going to see a lot of contact, a lot of rubbins racing? Or do you think we're going to see like multi-groove, clean, no contact racing?
No, I think that's why I'm happy to be up here. I think it's going to be tough to pass. It's going to be a very bottom-dominant race unless we see that amazing track wear where we can maybe, introduce some multi-group racing. But the bottom's going to be where you want to be, especially when you're towards the front. Of course, we did see Ray jump up there to P1 again, just like he was in practice. So he's obviously got some really good pace here tonight. But yeah, I think the bottom's going to be dominant, and it's going to be a bit of a slugfest mid-pack. I think there's going to be a lot of fighting for the bottom, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm happy to be up here tonight for this one.
Well, yeah, sounds good. I cannot wait to get started here. 3 minutes left of qualifying. We've got Alex Good here on the track in that number 97. Sebren Stuhl as well, the German driver, joining us here in the Special Stage Pro-2 Truck Series. And also, I just would like to add, I think he might have the cleanest livery on this grid.
Yeah, Sebren's truck was pretty cool there. Like the pink and the blue, two different colors on both sides. It works really nice.
Yeah, I agree. That font on the W, I don't know what W is, but kind of want to try now after seeing it on that truck. But Sebren Stuhl here going to post a very impressive 16.74. That is going to be good enough to get himself P3 provisionally. We'll have to see. Alex Good posting a lap there. Unfortunately, going to be the slowest lap of the night, as that is a very quick qualifying. All of these drivers have submitted a result. You can see it on the scoring tower there. Ray Baudouin, Adam McAfee, Sebren Stuhl, Ant Meeperson, Matt Schlosser going to be your top 5 currently. And Zach, let me pick your brain about something here. As we get, into the weather, you can see it on the bottom right of your screen there if you are watching at home. Temperature tonight, 77 degrees, a little warm. However, that track on a little bit of the cooler side. So, I'm not versed in this Pro-2 truck stuff. I love watching it, but I don't know anything about it. Is tire degradation actually something to consider here?
I think it's going to be towards the end of this race. And then as far as the track temps you're referring to, it's typical of a night race here. Dirt races are always a little bit better. At the nighttime, you don't have the sun beating down the track, so you don't get it dried out and get it wore out quite as fast. So should put on some good racing. Should hold up a little bit better than a daytime race would here. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I think tire wear is definitely going to be a thing towards the end. I did some test laps earlier, and you could kind of run the same pace early, whether you were just kind of mashing it out of the corners, running full throttle or running partial. So not a big difference, up front, how you take care of the power here in these trucks, because they do have a lot of horsepower. But towards the end, we'll see if anybody can save some tire or if somebody abuses their tires and we see them kind of fall back.
Yeah, I think, I don't really think. What I think is that you just could have told me anything and I would have believed it, because I really don't know what we're doing here. I am in completely uncharted territories. But everything you did say made sense, and, hopefully you're right, and hopefully I personally want to see a little beating and banging. I don't want to see any dirty racing. I don't want to see any, running anybody into the catch fence or into the pit wall, but I would love to see some gritty overtakes in the bottoms of these corners, using them as a wall almost. And, I just want to see what these trucks are capable of. When you see a truck like this, you can't help but think, how can I test the limit of this thing? These guys jump these trucks. They got to be durable, right?
Yeah, they're pretty durable. But you do get, thankfully the speeds are low here. In iRacing, we have, you get a little bit of body damage. You lose a lot of speed in these trucks, which is a little unrealistic, but that's just why you have to try to take care of your truck on some of the higher speed tracks. But up here, that shouldn't really be an issue tonight. So we'll see how it goes. But I think there will be some beating and banging, and you're definitely going to have to try and move somebody off the bottom if you want to make a pass.
Yeah, that is something that I do agree with. And, I kind of agree with it when we're just racing, legitimate, dirt cars around here. It seems like those guys in the early runs are always, and I mean always, feeding that bottom line, getting the most out of their tires on that bottom side, keeping the momentum low, but just rolling it. And yeah, I'm interested to see what line is, going to end up being dominant once we get this track work done.
Absolutely. Yeah, bottom's going to be where it's at, especially on the exits. You're going to want to see guys stay low. You do not want to take it out to the wall. It's not worth it. You're not going to pick up any speed out there. In fact, the guy behind you is probably going to get to your inside then.
Yeah, exactly. So for our first race of the evening, we've got 2 30-lap heats here, just like last week, going from 12 to 30. Let's go through our starting grid here. Starting in row number 1 is going to be Ray Beaudoin and Adam McAfee. Row number 2 is going to be Sebring Stuhl with Ant Meeperson on his outside. P5 going to be Matt Schlosser with Josh Heege in P6 in that number 7 truck. Greg Johnson and Thad Countryman make up your row number 4. Row 5 is going to be Steven Thompson and Joey Herbel. Row number 6 is going to be Alex Good, and he is alone in that row. So 11 drivers here. Heat race number 1. We'll have to see how it goes. I believe that is Joey Herbie as well, not Herbal, so I do apologize for that.
Yep, you got it, Joey Herbie. Yeah, speaking of the inside, like we were talking about, I'm interested to see here if there's a big advantage for these guys on the bottom row here to start. Like, even though Adam McAfee got, P2 here in qualifying, I think Sebring's going to be able to, if he gets a good start, be able to take that P2 spot pretty quickly with that inside.
Yeah, yep, of course. I agree wholeheartedly.
A bit of a difference here. Usually we have standing starts in special stages, so I think these boys are ready for a rolling start.
Yeah, the 586 truck, that is Ray Beaudoin. He has the button, and we are green flag racing here in Lanier. Ray Beaudoin sticking to the script, sticking to the game plan. He notches himself out to a 0.3 of a second lead early, but those 2 trucks behind him, Adam McAfee, Sebring Stuhl, looks like Batman versus Joker, as he is going to be pushed up high. That is the red truck of Ant Meeperson. 13, running a different scheme this week than he did last week. The new scheme looks good. Will it net positive results? As we keep on racing, 3 wide behind him. That is the 150 of Greg Johnson, the 260 of Thad Countryman and Matt Schlosser in that number 400. Just falling out of line as truck's washing up a bit high.
Yeah, you can kind of see Matt went a little soft there, and he's trying to be conservative around the top, but he's lost, I think, 4 or 5 positions there just by trying to be the nice guy and stay off the bottom. So it didn't work out for him too well.
Yeah, running 5/10 a second, almost 6/10 of a second slower laps than the rest of the field as Matt Schlosser. He finally gets himself pinned down in a position, but he is already 3 spots back in P8. Moving up the grid here to Sebring Stool. I apologize for that. He is going to fend off the other pack of wolves behind him that want his spot. That includes Adam McAfee, Ant Meeperson, and Greg Johnson. All of these guys taking identical lines. It's going to be the first one to make a mistake gets left in the grass. Is that accurate, Zach?
Yeah, we've seen Sebring just got in the wall there a little bit. So did Ant the lap before, so guys are getting a little wide on exits here already. I'd be personally keeping it down a little bit lower.
Yeah, you want to keep it low because you can't let that inside up. Not Sebring Stool. There's going to be Ant Meeperson getting into the wall there as we cross the start-finish line. Already 7 laps in.
Adam's crawling back in there on Sebring. I think you can kind of tell Adam's just running a little more to the bottom, and I think that's where you want to be. Sebring's kind of good at that area. He's almost getting to the inside there. Sebring might want to bring this thing down, or Adam's going to get to his inside here very shortly.
Yeah, leaving the door open, and if you're not careful, especially with the drivers here in the special stage, they will be taking that spot. But Adam McAfee chooses to go up with Sebring Stool. And Meeperson looks for an opportunity. He is going to stick it down low, and he is going to get that move. Oh, just losing it a little bit on the exit of the corner. That's going to cost him some momentum as we head into turn number 1 here again. They're beating and banging.
That's one of the most frustrating things of the driver there, Adam. You see he was trying to work on Sebring there a little bit. If you're not careful, the guy behind you is going to get right to your inside where you're trying to figure out a way around the guy in front of you. So he got the bad end of the stick here. He looks like he's able to pull off and stay ahead of it right now.
Yeah, I certainly agree. Ant Meeperson doing his best.
Adam's got it back to the inside again. I'm sure he's not going to give that up again too easily.
Yeah, meanwhile, Thad Countryman on a blazer of a lap 2/10 faster than anyone else that time around. So he is currently the fast truck on track.
That's probably got a little bit to do with clean air. It looks like he's kept his truck clean. He doesn't have any damage, and he didn't have anybody in front of him there for a while. We'll see if he can hold on to those good lap times now that he's battling with Ant.
Yeah, he is going to tuck it down low on the 13 of Ant Meeperson. Another battle happening right behind them. That is Matt Schlosser in the 400. We saw him a little bit earlier failing to duck down before he lost a few spots. He did end up passing Alex Good for P7. Now looking for Greg Johnson, the Canadian driver, looking to take his spot. And then once Matt Schlosser can accomplish that, then he can start thinking about the top 5 and passing Thad Countryman for that. But the 3-way battle here now evolved into a 4-way battle as Sebring Stool is kind of slowing down a little bit, 0.2 of a second slower on that lap than everybody around him. So he might be next in line to compromise his position.
That's the problem. You get stacked up here, it's hard to pass. So I think Adam's definitely a little fresh here. He's trying to find a way around Sebring, and they're going to get all stacked up. Ant's back to his inside again. And it's just a dogfight down there in the top 5 right now, in the top 4.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Ray Baudouin is loving it as he has just said to himself, let's leave. He is a 1.5 seconds ahead of Sebring Stool, and you know, you go to a normal Pro-2 track and a 1.5 seconds lead feels like you're right there on him, but when you come to these small ovals, Zach, 1.4 seconds, 1.5 can feel like an eternity.
Oh yeah, Ray's in a really good spot right here. We've seen the pace he had in practice and qualifying, so he knows what he needs to do. I don't think track wear is going to change anything too much for this guy. He's just hanging on to that bottom. With that kind of a gap, he's got nothing to worry about but hitting his marks right now.
Yeah, he is putting all the weight of that Pro-2 truck into that right rear, just perfectly setting the truck every single time he takes the corner. Well, he was a little wide on that one, rubbing the wall just a little bit. I'm sure his truck's gonna handle it just fine. Meanwhile, the battle
looking
behind.
back in the field, a lot of guys are starting to move up just a little bit. It looks like there is starting to be a little bit of blue groove down at the bottom. It's hard to see from this angle, but the trucks are starting to move up just a little bit. A couple guys are still going down to the bottom, but it looks like on exit, they're really not able to keep them down there. So track wear is coming in a little bit, but most guys are running everybody's running kind of that second, third lane right now.
Yeah, and I guess I'm not versed in this, but it seems like the drivers do like that the best so far. And Meeperson in that 13's got to be in the worst spot of them all. He has got competition everywhere as Thad Countryman looking to get it done the hard way around the outside. Unfortunately, Ant Meeperson setting his truck is going to make him flare out wide. Just a little bit of contact between the rear of Ant Meeperson and the front right of Thad Countryman. And now they're sandwiching. It's a three-way sandwich. And Ant Meeperson was the meat.
2 for 1 on that one.
And,
hold on to it.
And is somehow going to slide in and get under. Trying to get under Thad Countryman there. I went speechless for a second. I thought those guys were going to run into the end of the pit wall.
And that looked quite aggressive, but they did a good job of keeping them rolling there. About as close as you get to taking it over the edge and being too far, but they did a good job.
Yeah, this is your closest battle of the race, and it currently consists of Ant Meeperson and Thad Countryman battling for that P4 spot. Ant got the best of them that time. And now, yeah, Thad Countryman trying to get his get back. 4 laps to go in the race number 1. We're going to be going again with an inverted field. But Thad Countryman wants to lay it all on the line here in race number 1. Adam McAfee is loving it. He went from being in a very long battle with those two to now maybe creeping in to Sebring Stool's P2 position. 2 laps
Sebring's
to
probably
go
the one
next
that benefited
time.
the most from that. You could say he was backing his pace up a little bit. He was liking that little extra breathing room, and then guys got the battle in there. But it looks like Adam's right back on his tail, and Thad's right back on Adam. So we'll see how this shakes out for the last 2 laps.
Yeah, this is going to be, and whoa, Greg Johnson coming in really aggressively. We are white flag racing here at Lanier for race number 1, final lap. Sebring Stool has the P2 position. Can he defend? Thad Countryman, Adam McAfee jockeying for position. Around the final corner we go, and it is Sebring Stool who will bring it home in second with, I believe, Adam McAfee. Yes, Adam McAfee in third. And unfortunately, not really much screen time for our leader, but it's because he was just so dang good through race number 1. That is Ray Baudouin with your race 1 win. Wow.
That was a good battle there to the end.
Yeah, that was cinema. I cannot lie there. As we bring up the results, you can see Ray Baudouin bringing it in 2.2 seconds ahead of Sebring Stool. Adam McAfee behind him, Thad Countryman, Ant Meeperson, Greg Johnson, Matt Schlosser, Alex Good, Josh Heege, Joey Herbie, and Steven Thompson. Wow, yeah, that was...
race for Ray there.
Yeah, very, very good race for Ray there. Good in the championship points, which we will bring up here in just a second. But for right now, these drivers are going to be getting a little bit of warm-up on. 3-minute warm-up. Get the track packed in how you like it.
It was a great battle there at the end. It's Adam McAfee and Thad Countryman. They're buddies there, so I'm sure Thad might have wanted to push it a little bit more there to try and get by him, but Adam was able to hold on to the top side there. It was a pretty good battle. We'll see how the track where I think we get a carryover. Yeah, we're not getting a refresh track for race 2, so Interesting to see how Sebring Stoll shakes out in this second race. It looks like he was really struggling there toward the end of that. He had really good pace in practice and qualifying, but yeah, once that track started wearing out, them guys were all over him, and he's not going to have the luxury of starting in front this time. So we'll see if he's able to make his way back through the pack, or if he gets a little hung up there trying to get past some trucks, not being able to have quite the pace that he had earlier in this session.
Yeah, I 100% agree, as I'm not entirely sure why I could not get the championship up. I do apologize for that. There should...
I have the old stats up here beside me if you want to look at anything. I don't have anything updated yet, obviously. But we had Ray was in 8th place before this.
That doesn't look right. That looks like last week's championship standings, so...
That could be updated, because I have Ray in 8th before this race. Now he's in 7th. First.
Yes, this should be the updated championship here. Tom Monhemius in first with 1860. Mr. Zach here in the booth with us in second place with 1540. Greg Johnson going to be your third place with 1006. And right on the nose with 1000 is going to be Sean Winkler. That is all your drivers that have accumulated 4 digits in their championship total. I'm sure tonight going to be a good, very good points night for Raybo to win.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I had a couple extra points there to spare, so I was able to hang out through the booth tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we enjoy having you. That first race, it looked pretty good from up here, I must say. Do you agree?
Yeah, I was surprised. They did a really nice job. Obviously, there's always going to be contact, but this group of drivers in special stage, I race with them week to week. We do have contact. You're always going to have it, especially with these dirt trucks and anything on dirt. But they did a really good job out there. These guys do a really nice job of keeping it fun, keeping it aggressive, keeping it competitive, but we don't cross that line. Looks like everybody did a pretty nice job there.
I agree wholeheartedly. And as we move on to our second race of the night here, we'll go through your grid. P1 is going to be Steven Thompson on that invert with Joey Herbie on his outside. Josh Heege, Alex Good making up your row number 2. Row number 3, Matt Schlosser and Greg Johnson. P7 is going to be Ant Meeperson. P8, Thad Countryman. Row number 5, Adam McAfee, Sebring Stool. Row number 6, Ray Bodwin, your winner, starting in the back due to that invert. Now, Zach, let me pick your brain on something. As a race number 1 winner, what's the strategy like for climbing the grid in race number 2?
Really depends on the track here tonight. Man, I don't know. You just stick to that bottom and take what's given to you. Don't try to, unless somebody gets turned sideways on the bottom, I think you just got to stick to the bottom, take what's given to you. I wouldn't try to jump outside or do anything too aggressive. You want to keep the body panels on the truck and, yeah, just not make any mistakes, and hopefully some other guys slide up in front of you and you're able to get to the inside and keep on moving forward. But what's really tough about these inverts as the leader starting in the back, not only are you back there, but the couple guys in front of you are also your other top 5 competitors. So they had pace as well. Super hard to get past those guys and get past the rest of the field.
Yeah. So, I know you gave the strategy. Would that be your strategy if you were in Ray Bodwin's position right now?
Yeah, especially after a race 1 win, you get a lot of points for that. I wouldn't go too aggressive here, and you don't want to upset anybody. Like, we race the same guys every week, so I'd be a little on the conservative side. Just kind of take what's given to me.
Well, that is a very, very wise thing to do, and it's very wise for Steven Thompson to get out to as big of a lead as he can. We are green flag racing here for our second race of the night.
Good run by Joey Herbie on the outside.
Yeah, Joey Herbie looking to make some noise here. He didn't really get a very good run of things in the first race. Has the opportunity to now. He's going to beat that wall down just a little bit right before the entry of the corner.
Starting to see with the track where the outside's getting a good drive off right now. I still think you want to try and stick to the bottom like we see Antoine, but you're looking at Joey Herbie, even Steven's moving up there now. You're starting to see the outsides getting an advantage on the exits. If you can keep it even in the corner.
Yeah, Josh Heagy taking that high line, opting to use the third and fourth lane up there. It is not going to bold him very well, I don't think, as Josh Heagy having to fight now to contain his position from the 400 of Matt Schlosser to close off that door. But I do not believe he's going to be able to do it. That is 2, maybe 3 positions lost because Thad Countryman is also trying to do the exact same thing. And unfortunately, Josh Heagy, within a span of 5 laps, not even 5 laps, he has been pushed down 3 spots, much like we saw out of Matt Schlosser in the opening race.
That's exactly right. I was just thinking about Matt in the opening race. We'll see if Josh tries to get down to the bottom here. He's got a little bit of an opening.
Speaking of Matt Schlosser, part of that Interstellar SRV team, in P4, looking to make his way onto that podium. He's got a really good case for it. But Ant Meeperson,
all the way up to third.
Yeah, they're going.
This is going to be something to watch here.
Yeah, they are getting sandwiched down on that bottom line. All of these drivers just vying for as much room as they can, down as close to that white wall as they can. There's going to be contact between Schlosser and Meeperson. Schlosser is going to get the better of him this go around. Oh, and big contact while they're setting the trucks. A little bit.
This is going to help. Ant's going to be able to get around the outside.
A little bit of tail whip outside. Yeah, they are 3 wide. Matt Schlosser in that 400 doing everything he can to get some speed. Setting the car late, really trying to carry that speed around the corner. And it did actually work for him that go around. Matt Schlosser looking like an absolute bullet right now. He tries to do it again. Will not get lucky twice, however.
Yeah, we'll see if Thad and Dan can get by Matt here. I think those guys had a lot of pace in the first race. If they can get around Matt, they got a good shot to get by these 2 up front. Because Steven's starting to move toward the top, and he's been side by side with Joey Hervey now for the last couple laps. So if these 2 can get clear, I think they got the pace to go up here and try to fight for the lead.
Yes, sir. This is your battle for the lead. Steven Thompson and Joe Hervey off that invert. They started up front. And unfortunately for these guys, they do have a couple hungry drivers behind them wanting this position. They've just got to go as fast as they can and not look back.
We'll see if Thad can get a move to the inside. They're leaving a lot of room with the exits. Looking for it. A little bit of contact there. Going to slide up for Joey Hervey. Thad's going to try to get the drive off. 3 wide for the lead. This is awesome racing right here. Thad's going to be in a really good spot here. If he, a little bit of contact. He's still going to be in a good spot here for the exit.
Yeah, more contact. And the 260 of Thad Countryman almost went around and around. Luckily for him, he did not.
Yeah, Thad's still in a really good spot here. I think he's going to take this lead.
Yeah, Thad has looked incredible this race. I mean, just incredible.
I think it's just that hard to pass. He had some really good pace in the first race, but it was just tough to get by. They were all kind of stacked up there for most of that first race in the 2 through 5 positions.
Yeah, especially Thad being able to keep this pace with all of the fighting and all of the aggression from other drivers to get his position. I mean, it's absolutely incredible what he's able to string together here.
Yeah, he's staying committed to that bottom is what it looks like to me. He's, even though it's wearing away, it's not quite what it was. You can see he's still hitting the bottom there at the apex, keeping it lower than most of his competitors behind him with the exit. He's able to just keep that momentum rolling.
Yeah, and that very well could be the reason why this lead is stretching out as fast as it is. 0.7 of a second to P2 Steven Thompson. P3 Joey Hervey as well, not looking to give it up quite yet, but Matt Schlosser has a little different thing to say about that. A little bit of a wall beat down there from Joey Hervey. And unfortunately for Joey Hervey, he got forced to the outside. It might be bad news for him here to close this race. He might just trickle down the grid as we go.
Well, it's better than it was in race 1 with that track where you're able to get that good exit. So as long as the guy on the inside's not, finding that good, like Thad's got a really good exit going off that bottom, but it looks like the outside lane's starting to even out quite a bit, surprisingly. I still don't think it's the race line you want to be in, but you're able to kind of match the bottom right now. So he might be able to hang on there pretty decent for a top 5. We'll see.
Yes, sir. Thad Countryman doing his best to stretch the lead out as much as he can. He has accumulated a 1.2 second lead over Matt Schlosser.
Second.
Yeah, Matt Schlosser in second.
Awesome.
He's up 3 spots from P5 to P2. Stephen Thompson, your pole sitter for this race, 10 laps to go. He is washing out wide. He has got to try to get that truck tucked down into the bottom as fast as he can if he doesn't want to bleed positions. But here comes... Who was that? Adam... No, not Adam McAfee. Joey Herbie.
It sucks. It looks like Steven was still rolling that top pretty good, but I think that's going to let Ant slip by there and get the clear for P3.
Yeah, it looked like he was on his way to doing something villainous, but luckily washed up to the front. Adam McAfee, Stephen Thompson, and Meeperson all fighting for this P3 spot. Matt Schlosser has almost solidified his second position here with 8 laps to go now.
Good to see our league admin get a good run here. Yeah,
yes, sir. Matt Schlosser.
Nice run.
My first race I ever called, and I said it last week, but I'll say it again. My first race I ever called was a Western States Racing League Truck Series race, and Mr. Matt Schlosser was in that race as well. So a little bit of lore here. The Mac and Matt connection runs pretty strong over the course of a few years, actually. So good to see my friend Matt Schlosser again, and good to see him up front here, as Thad Countryman is just in another league. He's 1.2 seconds in front of Matt Schlosser, who has a 1.3 second lead over the entire pack. So Thad Countryman, Matt Schlosser definitely coming out as your big dogs here in this race number 2.
Yeah, great to see Matt get a good run. He's a really good, clean driver, consistent. He's usually not the fastest in the pro trucks, but he's really fast in some other stuff. And even though he might not have the sheer pace of these trucks, usually the pro trucks, he's just consistent. He's always there. It looks like he closed the gap just a little bit to Thad Countryman. I don't think he's going to have anything for him with only 4 laps to go. But Matt's definitely got something figured out here.
Yeah, it's just a shame that Matt was able to find it. If he was able to find this in the first 10 laps, we might have a different discussion on who is leading this race right now. But with 3 laps to go, we'll focus in on this battle for the bronze podium spot. That P3 position, Ant Meeperson, Adam McAfee fighting for it. Joey Herbie, unfortunately, has found himself out of the race just a tiny bit. And as I say that, Adam McAfee does the same. He is going to wash up high.
Yeah, I think just based on what we saw up to this point, Ant's probably going to be holding this spot. Adam's pretty quick, but Ant had a really good bottom line going. He's still running a little bit lower than Adam is. As long as you can hold on to that line, he should be all right.
And as the 260th Thad Countryman makes his way around the final corner, he will win here at Lanier in the second race of the night. Matt Schlosser, P2. And Meeperson, P3, Adam McAfee, P4, and Joey Herbie, look at him getting himself a top 5 here at Lanier.
It's a good run for those guys. Good to see Thad get a win there. He's had a tough couple of races. He had a good race last week at Bark River, but the first couple races in the special stage were a little bit rough for him, so good to see him get a win here tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good to see Thad Countryman do well. He had pace last week at Bark River. Today at Lanier, he is good as gold. And next week, when the series goes to the Atlanta Rallycross, will he have pace there? We've got 7 days to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll see. Atlanta Rallycross is not a very common track for most of us drivers here. A lot of guys have probably never turned a lap there, so that'd be really interesting to see who's fast there and see who figures it out.
Yes, sir. And as we bring in our 3rd place finisher in race number 2, Ant Meeperson, Ant, Mac, and Zach up here in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, loud and clear.
You were in battle for both of those races here tonight. Now tell me, is it mentally deteriorating having to just battle lap after lap in a, what seems to be a pretty short race here at Lanier?
Yeah, a bit. The first race especially, I just felt faster than the group ahead, but I couldn't do anything at all. It's very one line around Lanier, and it's kind of screwed if you're even a tenth or so quick. You just really can't work someone at all without bumping them out of the way, and I would rather not do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
I
think I gave
agree.
up a little in the second race.
I agree. I did not envy you or your position whatsoever. But moving on, next week we've got Atlanta. And as someone who is up there in the championship standings, is Atlanta somewhere you like to go or don't like to go?
No idea yet, because I still don't own the track. I will be getting it this week. But we'll see, because although Phoenix, the last rallycross track we did, it was a little messy for me, but I felt like I had really good pace. So if I can avoid getting myself into trouble, I'm hoping I can pull a couple good results out of it.
Well, good deal, Ant. We're going to let you get going and, buy that track and get some practice in. But before we do that, who do you have to thank for tonight's performance?
Matt for hosting the event, you guys for the broadcast, and everyone out on track for the racing.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that. It was an honor watching you here tonight. I can't wait to see you next week, and I hope you have a good one, Ant.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, and finishing in P2 tonight in our second race, Zach, I'm going to let you interview your league admin here. Hit him with the hard-hitting questions here. Matt Schlosser, your P2 finisher.
Hey, Matt, I want to know what changed for race 2 and for you there, because we seen the track conditions definitely deteriorate a little bit. You were able to find something that worked for you there. You were really matching Thad as far as the leader's pace there, and it looked like you were really had something figured out for the second race.
Yeah, the bottom lane was really good in my opinion. In race 2, there was a strip of fresh dirt right near the wall that you could kind of stick your left front in and get a really nice kind of turn and wrap the bottom. Thad was doing it too, so yeah, I kind of tried to follow him through to the lead. My hope was to get there to the lead myself, but I got to race and got shuffled out. Thad got by me, but yeah, I found some speed. I think I just do better on beat up tracks in general, whether it's these trucks or traditional dirt cars or what have you. I like trying to find the grip, and I think maybe that helped me a little bit there. In race one, I didn't quite have the speed, and I also got shuffled out, and it was stuck on the outside. But it was a good rebound, and pretty pumped to get on the podium here. This is my first podium in these trucks in a couple of seasons, so it's a pretty awesome thing.
Yeah, we were happy to see you get a good result there, because we definitely watched the first race. I kind of predicted that you wanted to be on the bottom, and you got shuffled to the top, and we watched you lose at least 5 positions there. So that was good to see you have a good run there in the second race.
Yeah, definitely. First race, that was some bad racecraft to try to go to the top. The guys in front of me kind of got tangled up and lost some momentum, and I wanted to keep my foot in it and try to get by them, and I should have just been patient and waited behind them. But it's all good. Learned my lesson there, and hopefully used it to do better in race 2.
Yeah, you certainly learned it for the second race. That was a good result, good run. And do you have any shout outs you want to give us?
Yeah, shout out to everyone who raced tonight. Hey, shout out to you making your in the booth debut. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you and Mac had a good time up there. Shout out to you as well, Mac. Thanks for the broadcasting, and also to Rob Campbell. I know he's a little under the weather, so hope he's feeling better soon. Congrats to Thad and Ray. I think both of them got their first wins in the league tonight, so shout out to them. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep, first time winners. Good talking to you, Matt. We appreciate you. Good run tonight.
All right, thanks, bud.
Wise and kind words from Mr. Matt Schlosser, league admin there. And we will be going to our winner in race number 2 tonight, Thad Countryman in the 260 truck. Thad, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, you?
I'm doing pretty good, especially after watching you put on a masterclass in that race number 2. Now, I know you won race 2, but I want to go back to race number 1 here that opened the broadcast. You were in battle after battle after battle for what seemed like the entire 30 laps. Now, knowing that and going into your second race, was it harder or easier to kind of lock in and say, okay, I know how fast I am, let's go get this done?
Yeah, I kind of figured I had a decent pace And I ended up starting in the second race exactly where I started in the first race. So I just kind of had to, I guess you could say, be a little more aggressive because it is kind of one-line racing in these trucks when it gets down to it at these oval tracks. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. It just had to, people had to get the fenders out and get the elbows out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of that, getting the elbows out, it looks like all three of the podium sitters here tonight, you, Matt Schlosser, and Ant Meeperson, y'all went to battle crazy in the second race. So, is that something that you'd like to see in these oval races? I know it's typically jumpy left and right turns for these trucks. Did you like the kind of beating and banging of a dirt oval?
Yeah, I like it because, I mean, that's kind of what these trucks are meant for, It's when they get rubbing on the doors, it doesn't really hurt them too much. And especially on these oval tracks, you can really get tight to each other and be rubbing and not really lose too much time or worry about wrecking somebody. Like, you ain't trying to clean them out, obviously, but yeah, it's definitely fun to get tight battling going and some door banging.
Yes, sir. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I'll let you celebrate. However, I do need shout-outs to everyone who you can thank for the performance here tonight.
I got to thank Mr. Adam McAfee for running this with me, all the guys at Team Gold, you guys for putting on a great stream, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is your race winner for our second race here tonight, Mr. Thad Countryman. Thad, I appreciate it. Hope to see you soon.
Yep, thanks. You too.
Now we're going to reverse the clock, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to bring in our podium sitters from our first race. Adam McAfee, I appreciate you joining us here in the booth. P3 for you here tonight in the opening race. How did it feel for you and your 18 truck?
It was a lot of fun. I just went in. I don't do a lot of oval racing in the trucks, but I do enjoy them. I think they're fun. I just went out there just to have some fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, looking forward to Atlanta RX as a caster next week, but as a driver, is that a track you're looking forward to, or is that something that's kind of new for you?
That one's going to be brand new for me. I've never driven that track. I don't typically do the rally track, so those are always tough for me, but it should be fun. See what it brings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, I'm not entirely sure where you're at in the championship, and I apologize if you're, up there in the standings, but with the championship, with there only being 2 weeks left, is a championship something you're gunning for, or are you really just looking for the experience?
Just having fun with it. Like, next week will be up in the air because, like I said, not very good with rally cars. And, well, if we end up, sounds like we're getting Wheatland for sure, so that'll be kind of a even playing field, I feel like, for everybody.
Yes, sir. And one more question here before we let you go. Who do you have to thank for tonight's performance?
Matt for putting it on, you guys in the booth. And then a huge shout out to Team Gold and Refined Engineering.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you joining us in the booth, Adam. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
And now Zach will be with our P2 sitter for the first race here tonight, Mr. Sebron Stool.
Hello.
Sebron, how was your race one there? Looks like you had a good qualifying effort. And once the track wore out, you were starting to struggle a little bit, but you held on to it there for a P2.
Yeah, race one was awesome. I might have kind of bumped Adam out of the way for P2 there, but hey, you need to make the moves when you can, so...
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get the elbows out to get it done. Looks like nothing crossed the line out there from our angle up here in the boost, so you were able to hang on to it, did a good job there. Great qualifying effort. So how'd your race 2 go for you?
Yeah, I think it was some iRacing physics shenanigans, because on my screen, me and Adam got kind of connected, and that just screwed my whole aero up. Which,
it's tough.
Slowed me down a lot.
Yeah, race 2 is going to be a tough one, especially starting all the way in the back there. We've seen even Ray was having some troubles there. You guys kind of got stuck mid-pack there. So
Mm-hmm.
great run for you tonight. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give us?
Yeah, shout out to Dubby for supporting me. Shout out to my own team, SGS Racing. Sorry, I have something in my mouth.
I
And
think
yeah.
Mac was wondering before the race, by the way. He wants to know what W's all about.
Well, W is like, I'm gonna say something controversial for all the W guys out there. W is kind of like, you can compare it to, Gamer Fuel.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, well, you got the
Yeah.
compliment for having one of the nicest looking trucks out there. So
Oh,
good run
thanks.
tonight.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
looking truck.
yeah.
And
I'll
see you up
send
top
that through
again.
to my livery guy. I'll send that through to my livery guy.
Yeah, good
Awesome.
to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah, good talking to you, Steven. Hope to see you up top again next week.
Yeah, we'll try. See you around.
Yeah, buddy. Let me talk to Ray there too, Mac. I want to talk to our first time winner here, Ray. He's gonna be pumped.
Okay. Ray.
Mr. Ray,
Hey.
first win in special stage, brother. Tell me about that race one.
Oh man, I'm stoked. I actually spent all day doing various dirt oval races, trying to just see what all the different lines and everything were, and I guess it paid off, man. I was just trying to stick to that white line, the white wall, and that was it. But yeah, I'm stoked.
Absolutely, man. We were watching you in practice. You definitely had the field covered in practice. You went out, got the job done in qualifying, put it on the pole, and got a great start. Drove away and had the clean air and never looked back. So that was definitely worked out for you there. Practice paid off for sure. Tell us about race 2. Didn't get to see it too much. Looks like you got up to mid pack at one point, then I saw you drop back towards the back there. You had a clean nose on the truck. So did you just get too conservative there?
We no, I had a good little pace going. I was starting to pick people apart, and they were just battling ahead of me, and it was like a domino effect that I couldn't hit the brakes quick enough for. And then I actually got hooked with my rear end on top of somebody's hood. So no power to the ground is not a winning strategy.
Yeah, 2-wheel drive truck's not going to go too well when the back tires are off the ground, is it?
No, sir. But I got to see what those guys were having to do with battling behind me and why I was able to drive away. So that was very cool.
Well, that's good. Glad to see you get a win there in race 1. What was the big differences between the track there? We didn't get to really ask anybody too much, but what was the differences in the track between race 1 and race 2? It looks like we had a lot of track wear out there.
Oh yeah, we wore down the track pretty well. I would say about 3/4 away through the heat race, and come the feature race, it carried over. It was just a big dry slick in the middle of both corners. So you're either going high, which was slow, or trying to pinch as close as you could to that wall, and it was a tight squeeze. It was hard to pass.
Yep. Okay, great job tonight, Ray. Do you have any shout outs? Anybody you want to thank for your performance tonight?
Oh, absolutely. You guys, I really love watching the streams back and everything. You guys are doing a great job with the league, the broadcast. Got to thank my racing team, Ascension Racing. Those guys are always backing me up. And Joey Herbie and I have been working together quite a bit. So Boozy Jerky picked us up as a sponsor this season. So I got a shout out to those guys. Check out some Boozy Jerky online. Some delicious stuff, guys.
Awesome to hear. Good job, Ray. We're happy to see you get your first special stage win here tonight, and hope to see you back up front next week.
Woohoo! Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Congrats, Ray.
Thank you, Mac.
And
good to see Ray get his first win there. He's a good dude there. He's been working hard, and he's always up towards the front. So good to see him get his first win tonight.
Very good. I mean, he seems like a genuine good guy, and couldn't have happened to a better guy, I guess. So shout out to Ray Beaudoin. And that is going to do it, Zach. Well, your first night in the booth, how'd you like it?
It was fun, man. It's a different angle, that's for sure. I thought it was going to be a little bit dirtier out there tonight. So originally I was kind of happy to be up here and not have to, deal with the headaches of being on track and with the calamity. But looks like everybody did nice, like they always do. Hats off to these competitors here in special stage. They do a really nice job of, like I said, you gotta be aggressive sometimes, especially when you have a bottom dominant one line, race like we had here. But didn't see anything too crazy out there, and it was fun though. Good experience. Glad to be here. Thanks to Racer Nexus. Had a lot of fun. Hope to do it again sometime. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you did great. I think you've got makings to be, broadcaster, commentator, if you do so choose to pursue that. But that might be talk for another day. That might be talk for another time. As we have wrapped up here, everyone has gone home. There's still fans in the virtual grass. I don't know why, but we will be back next week with Atlanta Rallycross here in the special stage Pro-2 Truck Series. You have watched the Racer Nexus broadcast of this special stage Pro Truck Series. My name, Mac Nelson. In the booth, free intern Zach Amspacker. And we will be seeing you guys next week. So remember, take care of yourself